So 99% of the people who are watching this video are never going to make money online. And honestly, if you're watching this, you might be one of them. I'm not even going to hold you. Not because you're dumb, not because you're lazy, not because you don't have potential, but because most people want the immediate result and the money without becoming the person who can actually attain it. So making money isn't necessarily just about like luck or just by happenstance or whatever. It's literally about skill, consistency, and solving real problems with the willingness to solve them every single day of your life. So first and foremost, my name is Pedro Millan. I'm literally a social media marketer who I've literally developed multiple businesses to multiple six figures, and I run a social media marketing agency and a coaching business with one of my best friends named Zach, which who you know on this channel. So I've helped create content across different platforms like music, home services, cooking, and coaching, and even business now. And I've been able to generate more than 110 million views across platforms. So before I even made this business and this coaching business that we have together, I was in the music industry roughly for 10 years. And to be honest, it was literally like one of the best times of my life. But the main concept that actually had made me more money going into business overall is that music actually taught me discipline. Because you think about musicianship and musicians overall, it's like, what do they have to do? They have to practice. And what does that require? Multiple hundreds and thousands of hours, basically dedicating yourself to this one instrument to basically get better at your craft. And it's the same with business. It basically taught me how to create something from nothing. It taught me how to create under pressure. And more so than anything else, it taught me that talent alone doesn't necessarily guarantee you freedom. And with owning a business, owning a marketing agency, owning a coaching business, you can literally realize your dreams and your financial future, at least the way that you want it in the future, to come into reality without even having to be talented, if that makes sense, if you're willing to put in the work. You essentially get paid for the services and the value that you provide to other people rather than just like your prowess within that specific skill, if that makes sense. But one thing before I even talk about any of the stuff within this video, I want you to understand that when people usually get into coaching businesses more so than anything else, or even marketing agencies overall, because those are the two spaces that we actually help out, is that the online money space is super distorted. So like the making money online claim or the making money online space, as people say a lot, has become completely brought out of proportion. The reason being is because people are saying like, I made 10K in like 15 days. I made 100K from my phone, or I retired my mom at 15. And then beginners are watching these videos and they're just watching this and they're like, oh, I can do it too. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing really wrong with seeing something and believing that you can do something. But like they're basically starting their first month with the intention of basically applying and accomplishing a goal that most people don't even get the opportunity to do in the first place. And it's not to mention, like on social media, it literally inflates everything. Like you can literally go down the street in Miami, where we're currently based at, and you can see a Huracan, and a 17-year-old is literally in a Huracan. And you're like, dang, he must be doing really great for himself when the Lamborghini was just rented, to be quite honest with you, which most people do down here in the first place. But especially in the business space, business content makes people think that they need to be rich in 30 days. But that mindset destroys people because it basically tells them that you have to be doing something before you even develop an actual skill that people will respect and people will actually learn from on a consistent basis or utilize in their business. So because of that, people need to understand that when they get into business and they're not necessarily like inflating their brains with the stuff that they see online, you don't deserve 10K a month, and that's okay. And the reason why I say that is because you're not going to make 10K a month immediately. Like you're not going to make 10K a month on a consistent basis immediately. It took me 8 months in order to get there. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're worthless, right? It basically means that you don't have the skills in order to develop that financial freedom, or in the sense of like 10K a month on a consistent basis, right? But what's awesome though is that it takes a little time, and if you're willing to stick to it with the discipline, like I mentioned earlier in this video, you're going to be able to accomplish it. Nonetheless, like you're literally going to be able to do the things that you said that you're going to do. You just have to realize that it does require a little bit of time, because in reality, the market pays you based off of the value that you're giving to somebody. And if you're not necessarily giving that value on a consistent basis, or the value where people are ranking in hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even $50,000 or even $20,000 based off of what you can provide to them, the market's not going to pay you. And you get paid to solve problems. So if you come from the inflated mindset thinking that you're going to be making this amount of money within a specific time frame, so you could basically just throw everything away and let everybody know that, hey, I'm basically in a Bugatti right now, it's never going to happen. And it also goes in tandem with people who work really hard and they never get any results because they're working on the wrong stuff, right? So it's like, if you're basically solving problems on a consistent basis and you want to get to 10K a month, but you're solving problems that don't necessarily are high yield, like we literally teach all of our people in our school group, go down into the link in the description, you're going to be solving problems for people that are not going to give you the life that you want. For example, like if you were literally to go do a small charge, low ticket, right? And you have to be working with thousands of people in order to be in a position where literally everything is considerable in a financial freedom standpoint, let's say, like for your life and for the life that you want to live, right? But if you do that at high ticket, then now you have to actually provide value because of the fact that like you're literally getting thousands of dollars from people on a consistent basis. And the only way to actually circumvent the amount of money that they're giving you is by giving them the most amount of value based upon everything that you're doing. There was this amazing quote that I heard from Nick Comodina, who is another coach in the coaching space. And he was basically saying, like, if you want a $10,000 business, like $10,000 a month, you better be giving $100,000 every single month to a specific client so that way they can pay you that much. And it's not always about working harder. It's about learning how to solve problems better for a specific group of people, right? Which brings me to my next point. Literally, business isn't linear. Because of the fact that you're basically solving these amazing problems or these problems that cost like thousands of dollars, you're going to run into situations where you're just basically up and down. Literally, a client leaves, or they found somebody that's cheaper, or they don't necessarily need your service anymore. And most people start a business and they quit really early. They literally start an agency, they start coaching, they start making content, they start learning sales, and then 30 days later they say, oh my gosh, this isn't working. Or maybe they made $2,000 instead of $5,000, or like 1 instead of 10. But the truth is that you just haven't gotten good yet, right? Like, not only the time frame is super messed up, but on top of that, like, you expect to get better like overnight. Like, you're not some savant like out of somewhere just coming out of the woodwork and then all of a sudden you're going to start working. No, it took me 8 months. 4 months in, I made $4,000, but that was 4 months of consistent grinding every single day. What does that say about you? For Zach, it was literally a year, I think it was, to get to 10K. So how does that make you any different? Yes, some people, their results are much quicker. Some people, it takes a little bit longer. But at the end of the day, you don't start today and automatically start making 10K every single month. Usually it looks like first you get excited, then you're confused, then you're overwhelmed. Then you start doubting yourself. Then you feel like quitting. And that's where most people stop. But it's your job. It's your job to keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's where the real growth happens. So let me give you a little story as far as like everything else is concerned. My real experience around this was essentially just like me making content. I had millions of views literally when I was doing all of this stuff. And then literally people will see my stuff. They see the numbers on my platforms. They see the clients that I had. They saw that I started the agency. They saw the call to actions. And then they thought everything's cool. But they don't see the boring parts, right? So like they don't see the client revisions, the multiple client revisions at that point, the sales calls, the appointment setting, the late nights editing at literally 2 a.m, the follow-ups, more so because people don't necessarily respond all the time, payroll to specific people who are doing part-time jobs for me, specifically on the editing side, the content planning, the learning the ads, the building the systems, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what actual business looks like. It's not something that you can just do based off of motivation alone, right? And I came from music, like I said before. Literally, I was in 10 years in the music industry, and I understood that, which kind of gave me a leg up in comparison to most people, which why I was able to make multiple 6 figures last year with the organic content agency. But You don't get great by practicing only when you feel inspired. You get great by doing the reps when nobody's looking. And for people who are watching this video, that's your point of contention. That's your leg up in comparison to everybody else, because not everybody's going to be a business owner, and that's okay. However, for the people, I know for a fact, for the people who are watching this video and wanting to take that ownership for themselves, please just go to the link in the description so that way we can hop on a call to see if we could actually help you out. If not, it's cool. But more so than anything else, for the people who are still watching this video, I want you to understand that you got to stop chasing money and start building skills. Because instead of asking yourself literally, how can I make 10K a month? You should start asking yourself, how can I build the skills and become the person to get to a point where I can basically have 10K a month? That question literally changes everything. I don't know what else to tell you. It's like money follows skills. It doesn't follow anything else in the world, but it follows skills and habits on a consistent basis. And the skills that changed for me, or at least changed the game for me and changed my life, was essentially creating short form content, writing hooks, learning how to write ad copy, editing videos, understanding attention, how to sell, building offers, generating leads, helping business owners do the same thing, and how to do that at scale. So when you build skills that help each other and help other people get results on a consistent basis, then you're not just building a business that basically is good at one thing, or a business that is basically like a shot in the dark. You're essentially doing something or building a framework that will work for you till the end of time. And that's the most important thing, more so than anything else. So how can you contest this? How can you essentially get into this, especially with a social media marketing agency or a coaching business overall? While most people consume, you have to create, like literally like your life depended on it, more so than anything else. And the reason why I say this is because this is the biggest reason why most people stay broke, especially when it comes to using their organic content as a funnel for their business. So people watch videos about starting an agency, AI, coaching, sales, funnels, school communities, getting clients, making money online, blah, blah. But they never really think about, how can I actually do the work, right? So what does that mean? They basically never post a video, they never send a DM, they never make an offer, they never follow up, they never build a landing page, and they never get on a sales call. They're just basically consuming and just getting through that dopamine loop of other creators basically feeding off of their views, but they're not producing. So if you only consume, you're not learning. You're basically just hiding from literally the situation that you have put yourself in. You said you wanted to create a business. You said you wanted to use content in order to get leads. You said you wanted to make ads. So then why are you continuously making content that doesn't even get posted? And why are you consistently watching content that isn't yours and that you just consistently don't use the efforts and the stuff that you learn from these videos on a consistent basis? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's like information without action makes you mentally overweight. And the reason why I say this is because you're consistently consuming something that fills your brain, but you don't have anywhere to expel it. Like, it's just basically locked in your head. Like, you can't even use any of the information that you're watching. Like, if you watch like a video, it's like how to change a car battery or something like that, but you never actually do it, you just bring it to the shop, then you're basically paying $100 to get some dude to do something that you could have just learned how to do in 30 minutes. Eventually, you start wasting more money and start wasting more money and start wasting more money. And then you don't necessarily have a business anymore. You have a liability. You have a liability. And that's crazy. What you need to understand is that with creating a coaching business or a social media marketing agency, more so than anything else, you have to learn to do the reps. You need to learn how to post. You need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to fail. You need to learn how to adjust. And more important than anything else, you need to learn how to be uncomfortable. Because from there, you'll learn the skills that you absolutely need for your business, and then you can start learning how to scale your business from 0 to 10K a month. And more so than anything else, I also want to talk about shiny object syndrome to close out this video, because a lot of people, including myself, This is literally the third business that I'm basically running, and it's actually pretty good. I mean, it's going pretty well. We have like literally more than 40 students in our school group right now. If you want to join, link in the description. But what I'm realizing is that there are so many opportunities once you start to make money, right? Like you go from 0 to 4K or 0 to 5K or 0 to 8K, and you're on your way to 10K. And then obviously, once you start making a little bit of money where you don't have to work so much, or you have an opportunity to breathe, you start to realize that so many other opportunities come your way. Like, oh, like we should start a business. Somebody comes to you and they offer you a business opportunity. The next thing, or like somebody literally made a video and you're like, oh my gosh, it went viral. Let me look at this video. It's like Alex Ramosi says I should do this instead of that. It's just like the people who win are the people who do not start over. And more so than anything else, you have to take into consideration, if you stick with the delusion, if you stick with the idea, if you stick with the business, you're going to win every single time. It's not really a point of like, let me see where the best opportunity is at. It's more so, let me see how long I can stay with this opportunity in order to see a positive result. And you're not going to do that changing every single 30 days or quarter or even year just because you don't like the results of your business. If your business sucks, it's a reflection of you. That means you suck. And it's a really hard and an unfortunate circumstance that you have to come to when you're looking at yourself in the mirror at 2 a.m. But that self-talk, that idea, just coming to that situation overall, will teach you more in comparison than any other mentor or any other teacher could ever teach you. And I think that's really important. And I think it's because there's a lack of willingness to go through the resistance of your business because of the fact that it's hard. And just know that who you are is your responsibility. Like you can't take ownership of a business that's making over 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K if you're not capable of taking responsibility for the things that you have to take care of. And that goes with anything in life, right? That goes with being fat. That goes with literally being in a situation where you're doing like really hardcore stuff that you're not supposed to be doing. And that goes into contention with literally everything in your life that is important, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean that everything is your fault. That doesn't necessarily mean that everything that you do is terrible. That just means that once you start to take ownership for your life, for your business overall, I promise you with everything on my life, everything that is available to you, that you'll be able to find a way out. But you're not going to do it if you don't start taking responsibility for the things that you want to accomplish. If you say you want to make 10K, make that your goal, and then strive to accomplish it every single day. So, at the end of this video, thank you for watching. For everybody who's gotten to this point, I'm going to give you a challenge. So here's my challenge to you. I want you to stop consuming for the next hour. Stop scrolling. Stop looking for another sign, right? Go do the one thing that moves your business forward. Literally pushing the needle, as everybody says, right? Post a video, send the DM, write the offer, build the page. Follow up with the person that basically asked you for your services or for whatever they were basically asking you for last week. Record the sales script. Make a content calendar. Do the thing that you already know you need to do. And 6 months from now, you'll either have proof that you took action or just another excuse. Because when you're born, you look like your parents. But when you die, at the end of your life, when all this stuff is gone, you look like your decisions. And that's a really, really hard pill to swallow. And I don't want you to become another excuse. So do what you have to do and become the person who actually wants to build something. Anyway, thank you so much to everybody that has literally watched this video. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because we put videos like this every single day and you don't want to miss them. On top of that, if you're looking to start a coaching business or an SMMA overall, whether it be in AI automation, social media, web design, it doesn't matter. Just click the link in the description where we have a booking link where you can basically hop on a call to see if we can actually help you out. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Peace.